Sup, Nerdmigos, and the Jive Talking Nerd John Norcroft. We've got Wife here, and we're back at it again for another Trek Jive. This is Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4, Episode 4. Something Borrowed, Something Green. So, spoiler-free, quickie review. Probably my favorite of the season.
Oh, yeah? Oh, man.
This is a really
hard one.
Really good episode.
This is a really fun episode.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Keep your eyes peeled for little refs. Great episode, great episode, great episode. There's so few things I can say about it that won't spoil, so I'm not going to. But like a hundo pasundo, go check this out. Great episode. Absolutely fantastic episode. Absolutely fantastic episode.
Another
Season 4 is a
fun
banger.
little bottle episode that also gives us a little hint of perhaps a broader storyline for the whole season. Yeah,
well written. Lower Decks is so fantastic, so fantastic. So let's just get right in to spoilers. So spoiler alert made out of spoilers. Spoiler alert. 3 Fast, 2 spoiler alert. Like the Fast and the Furious. Because they got all kind of spoilers. Yeah. It's about family, guys. This is also about family. Fantastic transition! No. So, I mean, this is kind of about family. We get to meet Tendy's family and learn about the Orions and stuff, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So this episode is A part, B part, like 2 plot sort of bottle episode. I would consider the A plot to specifically be the Tendy, Mariner, and the Vulcan lieutenant also.
Yeah.
And junior grade, whatever. And the B plot to be Mariner Boimler and Rutherford.
Yeah.
So, A plot wise, basically, Tendy's sister is getting married.
Yeah.
And so she gets kidnapped, and they
which
get
is
to go.
apparently part of an Orion wedding
which is
custom.
part of the tradition.
So one of the things about this episode that's really fun is we're kind of learning some stuff about Orion culture that we did not previously know. So that's like super fun to get them to flesh out an existing species within this universe.
Totally. So this is like basically a fetch quest.
Yeah.
Right? We got to go to location A and talk to so-and-so, and then go to the next location and talk to another person. But every location, we slowly learn that Tendy is like a hardcore badass.
Yeah.
Mariner keeps getting stabbed specifically in the right shoulder, which is hilarious to no end.
4 times.
Yeah, 4 times.
4 times.
Yeah, well, and we hear in the log at the end...
No, that's the 4th time.
That's only the 4th? I thought that was the 5th time.
No, we see 3 of them. The 4th one is when they're going over the pictures.
Yeah. So, like, 4 times, which is too many times to get stabbed in the shoulder. And she's very cool with it the entire time, which is amazing. And the Vulcan, who is just... Man, she is very rapidly becoming my favorite character. Her hot takes, these cold logical takes, they're so fucking hot, dude.
It's very fun.
It's so funny when when they're in the like sex dungeon or whatever, and she's like, "Are all Orions who use pheromones manipulative, or is it just this one?" And that Orion chick is just like, "Who said shit?" Like,
yeah, it's so good.
Oh man, she's so fucking funny. But yeah, we get to learn a lot of fun stuff. I saw like a little note that from something I saw on Twitter was that the chair that they first put Tendy and Mariner on when they first arrive on Orion. So the Orion written on the front of the chair, somebody had translated, and it says something to the extent of, "This is a fancy chair." Right? And there's a couple other times where you see Orion stuff, and I've seen 2 or 3 of them that are translated, and they all just are like very simple descriptors of what is actually like on screen. Like, this is a very fancy chair, or like one of them is like, this is a contract or whatever. I think maybe it's like the marriage license or something.
It's good.
Like, so it's very funny. that it's all just like kind of simple plain stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
It's really nice. It's a nice little detail.
Yeah, it's fun,
you
right?
know?
But like that was fantastic. I love Mariner's like just like, we knew you were badass. You can't be like, oh, I don't know what's going on, but then just like flip kick a knife out of the air or whatever, you know? So yeah, this was such a great like character building episode for that in the A plot. And then the B plot, which is like somehow more absurd.
Yeah.
Right?
As absurd as this whole like going to rescue your sister who ends up self-kidnapping herself.
Yeah. And then she's like when Tindy's like, is this because I left for Starfleet? And her sister's like, just like you, to make it all about yourself. And then Tindy's like, what's it about? And she's like, it's because you left.
It's
and
about
it's like,
you.
dog, that's about her though. So
Yeah.
No, so the Boimler Rutherford stuff is basically like they get in an argument. They act like Mark Twain to get out of that argument. Yeah. And then the captain gets in some stuff with like a beast man of some sort. And their solution is make them dress and act like
Mark Twain. Because that worked for them. So why wouldn't it work for literally everyone else?
I can't believe the captain fucking listened to them on this.
It's the funniest Enterprise Picard thing possible.
It's totally
so
a TNG shenan.
Next Generation, because like Mark Twain is on there all the time. In fact, earlier this week on BBC, I know we talk about this all the time, but like earlier this week on BBC, the theme was like old people.
It was like old timey stuff.
And there was
episodes.
like 3 different Mark Twain episodes from TNG alone.
It's so good. It's so good. I love that Mark Twain was their solution, and of course, totally did
not work.
The captain tried though for like a hot second. She gave it a try, and then of course when the beast dude like screams at him.
Yeah.
They're just like, maybe say that in a southern accent. And he's like, I am from southern whatever. That was a southern accent, which is fantastic. That's so like crazy shenanigans, like comedy stuff. It's very like TOS levels of comedy.
Yeah.
But and then we basically get like, this guy finds out that bonsai.
Well, he learns
exists.
about bonsai.
He learns about bonsai, and they are like, this is our child. This is bonsai, and sometimes we need to give him mist. Like, this is the most important thing, and he's just like, this is so beautiful, la 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 la, and just eats it up. The fucking best end to this story arc is that this fucking monster just eats their bonsai and then hungers for mist and just screws the cap off the spray bottle and drinks the spray bottle. Is so insane,
and then immediately is like, yeah, you guys can scan this nebula. This guy was just hangry.
Yeah, this alien was just hangry and needed some mist and a bonsai.
Yeah, I mean,
delicious bonsai-based snacks.
Sometimes I hunger for bonsai and thirst for mist.
Yeah, right.
And I will be very
hangry
if I don't get it. So
I don't trust Starfleet scanning. It's so accurate, nuanced, or whatever. Oh man, he was so funny. Definitely want to see more about that race. And then lastly, well, actually at the beginning of the episode, we got another
we got another
spoopy alien
ship blow up thing.
Yeah.
So that's 3. And
Klingons, Romulans, and now Orions.
So now we still don't know anything about that. So I think that we're going to continue to see more of these blow up other races. And I think that maybe we're going to figure out who it is. Like, and it's either going to be the big baddie in like the very last episode, or we're going to just like get to see them in the last episode. And then we've got to fight them like next season.
Yeah. I get the feeling that like it's gonna build, the last episode is gonna be like chasing the ship, running from the ship, some sort of action around this ship, but we're not gonna know what it is, we're not gonna know who it is, and it's just this like infinite threat. And I think the very last scene, like this scene and then immediately cut to black is gonna be like whatever we see inside the ship. This motherfucker says a name, we get a transmish, some shenan like that, and it's gonna be some sort of a like deep reference.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
It's gonna be like you know, whatever, a traveler, a Q, a Borg, you know, like that level, you know, not those, because that doesn't make any sense for any of those things, but like that level of like reference, totally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be some like real obvious shit like that. And then it's gonna like cut to black, and so you're like, yeah, right? You got like, now you gotta wait for the next flippin' season to come out in a year to figure out what the hell they're gonna do to solve this problem. Like that's kind of the energy I get from this, because they're really, they're trickling this out. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was such a great episode.
Yeah.
I loved all the Orion stuff. I more and more with each episode, I love this Vulcan science officer. She is so fucking funny. Holy shit, guys.
Yeah, she's really fantastic.
She slays me. Everything she says is so ridiculous. The way that it's written and the way that she delivers it. It's so good. So I'm very excited to see more of her. And just to sort of see more of this, like the show has the same energy as the previous seasons, but they're very clearly like exemplifying the difference between the shenanigans an ensign gets into and the shenanigans a lieutenant junior grade gets into.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's just a little different.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more responsible shenanigans. And honest to God, I want this show to go long enough that I see these people become, like, I want a spin-off where Boimler's the captain.
Oh, man.
You know what would be even better than that? Is if we got a spin-off where, like, Boimler or Mariner or whatever is the captain of a vessel, but it's a live-action series taking place in this timeline. Because, one, give us more fucking shows in this time period. There's so much going on. And it doesn't have to be, like, big... It doesn't need to be, like, the Enterprise. Like, it doesn't need to be a big thing.
Well, that's essentially what this show is.
Yeah, that's what this show is showing us. Is that,
we don't have
you could just have a show about an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, I would love to see a Lower Deck spin-off into live action. I think that the mishmash with Strange New Worlds showed that we could do that.
Yeah.
Sort of a thing. And the spin-off doesn't even have to be, like, haha funny.
Yeah.
Right? It can just be a serious spin-off.
Yeah.
Like, I would still be very okay with that.
Honestly, I think they could even wait, like, literally, like, 10 years and still do it.
Oh, yeah,
like,
they could do it forever.
That's such a great, like, back pocket kind of an idea.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like these four, Rutherford, Mariner, Tendi, and Boimler are, like, they're feeling very, like the crew that you want to follow.
Yeah.
You know? And so I could easily foresee serious live action shows coming out of this, or comedy live action shows, which I would not be against either. But, like, I could easily see one or two serious live action, like, traditional Star Trek shows spinning out of this series because of them.
Totally.
You know? They're so good. This is such a well done show. Yeah. What did you guys think of this show? What do you think is going on with the blasty shuttle thing that's happening? Are we gonna figure out who that is? Like, I feel like I have, like, nowhere close to enough, like, information to make any sort of a reasonable conclusion.
Yeah.
So, like, it could be anything at this point in time to me. But, like, what do you think it is? If you have, like, a guess, what did you think of this? Do you believe that weddings should have kidnappings in front of it? It would make weddings way more interesting.
After the save the date and before the invitation.
Yeah, because you gotta have time. Yeah. It makes sense. I definitely want more Orion. Give me more Orion.
Yeah.
I would love a Captain Tendi series.
Is there a mistress of the summer constellation?
I mean, yeah. Like... Give me fucking more, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic episode. Let us know what you think. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. We do these, and we've got horror reviews coming out in October, so look forward to those. October is we only watch horror stuff, like in Star Trek and wrestling. during the month. So stay tuned for those. It's going to be a lot of horror reviews. We're big horror movie fans, so that'll be exciting. And check out our podcast if you haven't checked that out, the Horn and Cauldron podcast. All the links will be down in the dibbly-doo. But yeah, give us a like and a subscribe. That would be great. And yeah, share us with your friends or whatever the heck. Talk with us down below. Hit us up on social or any of that kind of stuff. And we will catch you guys next time for more Trek Jive. I have been John Norcroft. This has been Wife. And this Trek Jive has been for Lower Decks Season 4, Episode 4, Something Borrowed, Something Green, and just something more. Such a great episode.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic
this is really
episode. So we will catch you guys next time.